Beneath the modern streets of Seattle, another city sleeps. A forgotten network of corridors, storefronts, and sidewalks, once alive, now sealed in darkness. Most people walk above it every day without knowing that a century ago, this underground world was the ground level. Tonight, we descend into the hidden layers of a city rebuilt after disaster, a place where engineering ambition met desperation, and where the stories of those who worked here never truly reached the surface. This is not a tale of ghosts. It is a tale of people, of progress, and of the shadows progress leaves behind. This is how Seattle built, a city beneath a city. In the late 1800s, Seattle was a young city. Timber, smoke, mud, and the constant hum of sawmills. The streets downtown were so low that tides flooded them. Wooden sidewalks hovered above swamps, and sewage followed gravity straight back into the sound. Still, the city grew. Buildings pressed shoulder to shoulder. Saloons filled every corner, and under those wooden floors, a maze of utility tunnels and storage rooms formed unintentionally. Early hints of the city that would one day be buried, but it was unstable, vulnerable, and in 1889, vulnerability met opportunity.
Pull! All together now, heave!
On June 6, 1889, a pot of glue boiled over in a cabinet shop. In minutes, flames sprinted down the street, hopping from wooden building to wooden building like they'd been waiting for the chance. 30 city blocks vanished into heat and smoke. Warehouses collapsed. Streets buckled. Pipelines burst. Some workers swore they heard cries from beneath the sidewalks, where storage tunnels and old basements trapped smoke long before help arrived. By nightfall, downtown Seattle was gone. But instead of rebuilding what they lost, city leaders decided to reinvent Seattle entirely.
More water, quickly! Look out, the roof is collapsing! Get back, run!
The fire solved one problem and revealed another. Seattle's streets were too low. Flooding, sewage backflow, and constant mud made the city almost unlivable. So engineers proposed something radical: rebuild the entire downtown 1 to 2 stories higher than before. Raise the streets, raise the sidewalks, raise the city. But businesses wanted to reopen immediately, long before the engineering works could be completed. So they did. Shops were rebuilt at the original ground level, while engineers planned to build new roads on top of them later. This decision would create one of the most unusual urban environments in American history.
The elevation in this sector must be precise. We cannot afford error when the street is raised.
The model accounts for the load-bearing stress, Director.
It is sound.
Construction began. Giant retaining walls rose along the streets, forming stone canyons that towered above the first-floor windows of the newly rebuilt buildings. Then workers filled those canyons with earth, load after load, day after day, until the streets reached their new elevated height. The old sidewalks, now sitting 1 story below, became tunnels. The old storefronts became sealed chambers. The old city became an accidental underworld. What had once been Seattle's surface was now its shadow. For a time, the underground streets remained open. People walked them. Businesses operated in dim light. Sunlight filtered through glass prisms set into the new upper sidewalks, casting purple patterns on the path below. It was strange, but functional. A city living directly beneath another city, but it wasn't safe. Moisture dripped constantly. Rats thrived. Stories spread about people who vanished into unlit corridors. A few workers reported hearing footsteps where no one should be walking. Within a few decades, Seattle sealed most of it off, and the lower city slipped into silence. Every place shaped by human hands collects stories. The Seattle Underground collected the ones no one wanted to talk about. Workers spoke of shadows crossing prism-lit hallways. Shopkeepers heard knocking on doors that led to filled-in streets. And then there were the accidents. Cave-ins, gas buildups, silent tragedies without documentation. Some said the underground never forgot the people who once depended on it. Others said it remembered the fire. When the lower city closed, it didn't empty. It became a hiding place, a refuge, a trap. Gambling parlors moved below. So did bootleggers. So did those who had nowhere else to go. Police reports mention disappearances, but details fade into lost paperwork. The underworld of Seattle was literal, and in that darkness, many lives slipped through the cracks, remembered only by fragments left behind.
I'll raise you 50. Call. I'm out.
In the mid-20th century, the underground was rediscovered. Explorers found rooms perfectly preserved, chairs still arranged as if waiting for customers long gone, old signs, old tools, even old streets, untouched since the 1890s. Archaeologists called it a time capsule. Engineers called it a marvel. But the people who walked those tunnels alone, they called it something else.
Look at this place. It's completely untouched. Come on.
Established 1888. Incredible.
Every beam, every brick, every sealed door in that forgotten city was placed by human hands. They carried the stones, swept the dust, raised the walls, and risked their lives for a city determined to rise above its own mistakes. Sometimes the air in those tunnels carries a chill that isn't from moisture. Sometimes recordings pick up distant knocks or voices in empty corridors. Not supernatural, but human. Echoes of people who built Seattle twice. Progress demands sacrifice. Time demands memory, and sometimes cities prefer to forget the cost of their own creation. The Seattle Underground is not haunted by ghosts. It is haunted by history, by the weight of decisions made in desperation, by the lives altered when a city decided to bury its past to protect its future. Above us, Seattle moves, unaware of the world just beneath its feet. Stores open, traffic passes, people laugh. And down here, silence listens carefully. Some say cities forget. Others believe concrete only sleeps. But beneath Seattle, the past has not vanished. It waits, preserved in stone, shadow, and memory. This is the story of a city rebuilt on top of itself, and of the lives whose voices were left beneath the surface. And in our next episode, we go to a place where we walk above millions of workers that New York still insists on hiding. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button and follow our channel for more stories like this.